Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Charles Tabanson, and welcome you guys to another episode of the Dreamers Pro Show, where we cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, entertainment, and we give you guys a fresh perspective on things and how we see them. And folks, we got a hell of a show for y'all today, but before we get into it, please make sure you like the video and sub to the channel. So, as you guys know, man, we're still talking about this news with this NBA scandal, and everybody else is talking about it. But one of the platforms that decided to touch on this was Valuetainment, Patrick Bet David specifically. Now, Pat has had a lot of NBA guys on him. He had Kobe Bryant on there, which is one of his biggest interviews. He's had Shaq on there, if I'm not mistaken. He's had Magic Johnson on his platform. He recently had Scottie Pippen on his platform. So he generally has NBA guys, and he has an interest in basketball. And I'd actually texted with Pat a number of months ago about basketball and stuff like that. So he's an NBA fan. He's also even had Stephen A. Smith on there. So we know that he has an interest in it. And the biggest story right now is this scandal, right? And Pat is also firmly entrenched into the political world as well. So he always not always, but he generally tends to view things through the prism of politics. And that's what happened here. So recently, as you guys know, Stephen A. Smith went on ESPN First Take and made some comments about the current sitting president, Donald Trump, where he was essentially saying that he believes that what we're seeing going down right now with, the FBI coming after these guys like Chauncey Billups, Terry Rozier, Damon Jones, he believes that the president may be the one spearheading this initiative, and Stephen A. Smith got a lot of flack from it. So what I want to quickly play what Stephen A. Smith had to say on ESPN First Take, because a lot of it ties into what Patrick Bet David is going to be saying here. Take a listen to Stephen A. Smith here just about a week or so ago.
But there's a macro perspective that everybody has to pay attention to, and this is where I come in. We're sitting on here on the sports show doing First Take. We all know what other stuff that I do. We know what world that I live in terms of politics. How many times, for one incident after another, have I said, Trump is coming? He's coming. I'm going to say it on national television again. Bad Bunny is performing at the Super Bowl, and all of a sudden you hearing ICE is going to be there, looking to engage in mass deportations. The Super Bowl, disrupting things. Big night for the NBA. Wembanyama put on a show. That has now been smeared because we're talking about this story, okay? Remember, Trump has a long, long history connected to the world of sports because he had those casinos. Where do you think folks were coming half the time? I'm not talking about individuals. I'm talking about the culture. When people want to go to a casino, when people want to gamble, when people want to party, or whatever the case may be. This was his kind of connection to that. Why am I glad you're here, Monica? Because don't be surprised if the WNBA is next on his list. Mm-hmm. Because when you've got all of these protests that have been going out there and people that have been protesting against him and what have you, this man is coming. He's coming. And I've been saying it for a long time. And to me, this is the latest nugget of evidence that we're talking about right here. That's not to question the legitimacy of the case. We don't know. We're all sitting up here and we're saying that we don't know. But anybody that has been around him, anybody that has talked to him, anybody that has seen his reactions from the sports leagues and the positions that people have taken, they are not surprised at what's going on today. I'm watching a press conference with the director of the FBI. Yeah. Tell me when we've seen that. We've seen people, we've seen accusations before. We've seen athletes get in trouble with the law before. You don't see the director of the FBI having a press conference. It's not coincidental. It's not an accident. It's a statement. And it's a warning that more is coming. Mm-hmm. And that's what they're saying here. And everybody better, I'm just telling you, mm-hmm. It's as serious as it gets. This ain't the platform for me to get into it the way I'm going to get into it. But I've been saying he's coming. He's coming because in his eyes, folks try to throw him in jail. In his eyes, he's innocent. They try to put me behind bars. I'm getting everybody. He's not playing. And so this, in a lot of people's eyes, talk to people in the NBA, talk to people in the NFL, talk to people in the world of sports. They think this is like the tip of the iceberg. These are the kind of words that are coming out of people's mouths. It's not a surprise. It's very disheartening. It's very concerning. We don't know where this is going to go. But this is just the tip of the iceberg. Everybody's better brace themselves because he's coming.
Excellent. So you heard what he had to say. So I tuned into the show from Valuetainment where they were discussing this topic, and it had the following headline of the show. And it says, LeBron better have my back. Will FBI probe Maverick Carter and prevent LeBron from Hall of Fame? And I'm like, whoa. So I decided to click on the show to hear what these guys were talking about. And Patrick Bet-David essentially says that he believes that Trump could be targeting LeBron James because of some of the things that he has said about him in the past. So for those of you who didn't hear what Patrick Bet-David had to say on the show, take a listen to his comments here, and then we're going to come back and continue on the show. Take a listen to what he had to say here.
You know what the biggest fear is right now, Tom? If all of a sudden, you know who their superstar of the last 2 decades is that they're hoping has nothing to do with this? LeBron James.
Oh, for sure.
And let me tell you, who is LeBron James's guy?
Damon Jones.
No. I'm
Matt
talking
Carter?
management.
Lawyer?
I'm talking management.
Rich Paul?
Okay.
Rich Paul?
I'm talking management. So do you know the story of Matt Carter?
I do. I mean, I know Mav. Why? I mean, maybe I don't know this story. What's the story?
Do you know his gambling story?
Oh, I'm familiar with a little bit of it, yes.
Okay. So Maverick Carter, who is who?
That's LeBron's guy.
That's LeBron's guy, and he's the CEO of Spring Hill Company.
Clutch Sports.
And uninterrupted. Clutch Sports, who is co-founded with who? LeBron James.
LeBron, yeah.
Rob, can you do me a favor? Ask ChatGPT, has Mav Carter had gambling issues in the past before? Yeah. And look how he answers the questions. According to multiple news reports, Mav Carter did admit in November of 2021, this is not a long time ago, okay, that he placed about 20 bets on football and basketball games over the course of a year ranging $5,000 to $10,000. He said he used the services of a bookie named Wayne Nix, who ran an illegal sports betting ring. Carter told investigators he could not recall placing bets on the Lakers, despite his close business association with team star player. Who is that? LeBron James. He was not charged with a crime. The statement from his side said he cooperated with investigators, was not a target, and has not been contacted again in this matter. Why? Well, the NBA can't afford to lose LeBron James, of course. While Carter admitted to the betting, the available public information does not show that he was found guilty of a crime. But what do you mean you do not recall placing a bet on the Lakers or not?
Yeah.
You do not recall. So here's what happens, okay? Here's what happens. Do you think President Trump has a memory where he remembers everybody who called him out?
1,000%.
And do you remember what LeBron called the president once? When Steph Curry, a bum.
And he constantly went after him, constantly talked crap about the
He called the president a bum. And do you think if there's any ties, text exchange, email exchange, of Mav Carter asking, Bron, you're going to play tonight, you're not going to play tonight, you think if there's anybody, if you put 10 names of people that know on any given night if LeBron's playing or not, where would this guy rank on that list? He'd be in the top 5
Maverick
list,
Carter?
Right? Yes.
He'd be numero uno.
So if there is an ounce of anything on LeBron, do you think Cash and their FBI will go investigating LeBron? And imagine if they do. Think about all the black eyes athletes have had. If this goes that direction, none of those things will come as close to this as possible. And guess who will not go in the Hall of Fame? LeBron James.
Wow, you think so?
I don't say I think so.
Yeah. No.
I said if. I know you say no. If they find anything that LeBron participated in helping his boy Mav, who's a gambler.
Admittedly, illegal gambler.
Illegal gambling, admitted, and nothing happened to him. And when that nothing happened to him, that was what year, 2021? Who was president in 2021?
Joe Biden.
Okay?
Auto pen.
That's right. So guess what he cares? That's nothing for him. If they go this route and they go after Trump, and I know you said something about Stephen A. Here's what you got to realize, Vinny. about Stephen A. My thoughts on also Stephen A. I haven't told this to Stephen A. Is who hates Stephen A?
LeBron James.
Who tried to destroy Stephen A's career?
LeBron James.
Who tried to make sure Stephen A never got a job? LeBron. Who hated the fact that he got the contract?
LeBron.
Who knows all those additional phone calls that were made behind closed doors? Who goes on Pat McAfee, who is the show after Stephen A, and drops the bomb on Stephen A talk? Who did that? LeBron did. You don't think deep down inside Stephen A is kind of rooting for Trump? Did you understand what I just went?
Excellent. So you heard what he had to say. Now, what are my thoughts about this? First of all, Stephen A. Smith came under a lot of fire when he made that point. But here you have Patrick Bet-David, who was a conservative, I believe, who voted for Trump, if I'm correct. And he's saying this. And he's even giving the reasons as to why he said that. Now, it's fair to say that the FBI director, Kash Patel, had smacked down what Stephen A. Smith said. He said, it was the most, I think he said it was one of the most idiotic or ridiculous comments that he has ever heard in his life or something like that. So he pushed back on that notion. And obviously Kash Patel is going to do that because you don't want to say that, we're doing this because the president has a gripe with the NBA, right? You don't want to come out there and say that because now it looks like there's a political motivation behind this. But when you hear Patrick Bet-David say this, and who he himself, I'm sure is pretty plugged in, you begin to kind of think about it. Like, oh, well, damn, this could be a thing. And let's assume for a moment that is exactly what's going on. Huh! Folks, let me tell you, if that's in fact what's going on behind the scenes, then the ramifications could be devastating. Now, Patrick Bet-David is saying, he feels like, maybe the LeBron won't make the Hall of Fame. I think the impact of that will be even greater than that. Because LeBron James not making it in the Hall of Fame, yeah, it's a big deal, but it's more of a deal towards him. Like, it only affects him really. But if they go after LeBron and if they find a way to pull LeBron into this thing, it will be a disaster. It will be a total disaster because LeBron James is the face of the NBA. He's the face of the NBA. Now, I want to respond to something that I heard yesterday from Poetic Flacco, who was actually reacting to what Patrick Bet-David had to say, because Pat said that he believes that when LeBron James leaves the NBA, you'll witness an uptick in viewership. And Poetic Flacco's like, what are you talking about, LeBron? Poetic Flacco, shout out to you, man. I feel like you don't know what you're talking about when it comes to this. I feel like you don't. If maybe you've not been aware of the ratings have been plummeting over the last decade. And it really started ever since Kobe Bryant retired. That's when you really started to see a downtick in ratings. Number one. Number two, LeBron James is very, very polarizing. I don't know where you've been. I don't know what kind of NBA news you follow, but he's extremely polarizing. It's either you really like him or you really, really dislike him. The other thing that makes LeBron polarizing is because he also takes political stances. And whenever you take a political stance, whether it may be a conservative one, a liberal one, whatever it is, whether you're a Democrat, it's always going to piss off somebody. There's no two ways about it. But in terms of, he feels like the ratings will plummet, bro. Have you seen the ratings with him here? Have you seen what the All-Star game ratings have been? Have you seen what the NBA ratings have been? As a matter of fact, we saw an uptick in ratings when he was out of the playoffs in some of the games. It was only when we got to the finals and it was the Oklahoma City Thunder versus the Indiana Pacers. That's when we saw a dip. But the ratings have been down, have been up since. Coming into this season, some of the ratings have been up. Even Michael Jordan's debut with NBC Sports, they brought in some great ratings. So I don't know what you're talking about. I think the ratings will do just fine. That's number one. Number two, have you heard of a guy called Victor Wembanyama? Have you heard of a chap called Victor Wembanyama is going to win the MVP this year? It's a donezo deal. He going to win it. The Spurs already 4-0. He going to probably win the Defensive Player of the Year and the MVP this year. So I don't know what he's talking about. But in terms of what Patrick Bet-David is talking about, I think he brings up some pretty sound points. And I think these are points that we need to pay attention to. These are my thoughts. Whatever you guys think, leave your thoughts in the comment section. We catch you guys on the next show. And I'm out. Peace.